All right, so you're building a startup, right? Your head is all about the product, winning over customers, and just growth, growth, growth. But what about the finances? We're going to dive into how managing your books isn't just some boring back office chore. Nope, it's actually a strategic weapon that can literally make or break your entire company. I mean, does this sound familiar? This quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's the classic founder's dilemma. Look, your energy is your single most valuable resource, and you should be pouring every ounce of it into building your vision, not getting bogged down in spreadsheets and admin stuff. And listen, this isn't just your problem. It's a trap that pretty much every founder falls into. In those early days, you're all in on the product and the customers. The finances, that feels like a we'll deal with it later kind of problem. But here's the thing. Later shows up way faster than you think. And when it does, it can bring some pretty serious consequences. And if you want to know what the stakes are, here they are. Research from CB Insights shows that a staggering 29% of startups fail because they run out of cash or just totally mismanage their finances. Think about that. That's nearly 1 out of every 3 promising companies that just stumble. And it's not because their idea was bad, it's because the numbers got away from them. So that leads to the big question, right? How do you avoid becoming just another statistic? How do you keep that laser focus on growth while making sure your financial foundation is rock solid? The answer isn't for you to suddenly become a part-time accountant. No way. It's about finding a much, much smarter way to handle the numbers. And that brings us right to the main solution we're talking about today, outsourced accounting. Now, this isn't just about handing off a task you hate doing. It's a really strategic move. It gives early-stage companies a professional-grade finance department from day one, but without that massive, massive overhead. Okay, so what are we actually talking about here? It's pretty simple, really. It means you have a dedicated team of pros, actual experts, who handle everything. We're talking daily transactions, payroll, tax stuff, investor reports, the whole shebang. They basically become your finance department, plugged right into your business. And the benefits? They're immediate and they are powerful. First off, you get a crystal clear view of your cash flow. You get back 10, even 20 hours every single month. You seriously cut down the risk of getting hit with those costly IRS penalties. And maybe most importantly, you build trust with investors because you have clean, GAAP-compliant financials, which, by the way, is the gold standard they absolutely expect to see, ready to go at a moment's notice. But, it's not just about saving time. A Deloitte survey actually found that businesses who outsource their finance make faster decisions. And why is that? Well, it's because when you have real-time, accurate data right at your fingertips, you're not just guessing anymore. You're actually executing a real strategy. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Why not just hire someone in-house? And look, that's a totally fair question. But when you really put them side by side, especially for a growing startup, the answer becomes pretty darn obvious. Let's break it down. This chart really puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? I mean, just look at the cost. You're comparing a pretty manageable monthly fee to a full-time salary that could be $60,000, $70,000, even $80,000 a year. But here's the real kicker, the expertise. For less than what you'd pay one general accountant, you get an entire team. You get specialists in tax and payroll. You can even get a fractional CFO. And the best part, as you grow, the service just scales right along with you. You're never, ever paying for more than you need. And that cost difference is just huge. A survey by Clutch found that startups can save between 60 and 70% on their finance costs by outsourcing. I mean, for a startup where every single dollar has to count towards growth, saving that kind of money, it's a total game changer. All right, so maybe you're sold on the idea, but hold on, not all of these providers are created equal. Picking the right partner is absolutely crucial. You have to remember you're not just buying a service, you're basically adding a key member to your team. So what exactly should you be looking for? Well, it really boils down to these 5 key things. First, do they get your industry? Do they know the difference between SaaS and ecommerce? Second, is their pricing model flexible? Is it going to grow with you? Third, what about their tech? Does it play nice with the software you already use, like QuickBooks or Xero? Number 4, security. Is your super sensitive data safe with them? And finally, what's their vibe? Are they a proactive partner who's going to give you advice? Or just a passive vendor who crunches numbers and sends a report? So just to give you a bit of a starting point, here are some of the big names in the space. And you can see right away how they specialize. You've got Bench, which is fantastic for those really early-stage companies just getting their feet wet. Then there's Pilot, who are experts in the SaaS world. Kruze is a huge favorite among venture-backed startups. and Bookkeeper 360 is a go-to for e-commerce and agencies. See, the right fit really depends entirely on your specific stage and your industry. So the big question is, when is the right time to actually pull the trigger and make the switch? Honestly, it's often way sooner than most founders think. Let's do a quick little self-assessment here. If any of these next points sound familiar, it's probably time to seriously start looking at your options. Okay, be honest. Are you spending more than 10 hours a month? That's more than a full workday just on bookkeeping. Does the very thought of tax season fill you with a sense of dread? Have you ever had an investor ask for a report and you couldn't pull it together quickly? Or are you constantly getting surprised by cash flow problems that seem to come out of nowhere? If you're nodding along to any of these, those are major red flags that your current system just isn't cutting it anymore. Ultimately, this is what I really want you to take away from all this. You have to shift your mindset. Stop seeing accounting as just another cost center. Start seeing it as a growth enabler. Making that mental switch gives you a massive competitive advantage. It frees up your time, it gives you incredible strategic insights, and it builds the kind of credibility you absolutely need to scale your business. So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. When it comes to your startup, your financial operations will be one of two things. It's either going to be a frustrating bottleneck that constantly slows you down, or it's going to be a powerful engine that fuels your growth. The choice, really, is yours. Which one will it be?